Hi, dear love. I'm Nicole, and let's take a deep breath in. Ready? Raising your vibration and exhaling out to the universe. That feels so good, doesn't it? Today, we're going to discuss lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is a state of consciousness where the dreamer knows that he or she is dreaming and can control his or her dream. Lucid dreaming is a powerful, very effective tool for many different reasons. I'm going to share with you some of my personal experiences so that you can put this all into context and learn how to benefit from your own lucid dreams. So, to understand lucid dreaming, we have to understand the stages of sleep. NREM stage 1 or non-REM stage 1 is really when you just decide to go to sleep. Your eyes are closed, typically lasts between 1 and 10 minutes. And, although you're asleep, you may wake up feeling like you didn't get any sleep at all. Your muscles are just not inhibited yet. You may receive that hypnic jerk that sometimes you feel like you've fallen off of a cliff, you've fallen down a rabbit hole, and you just jerk and you wake back up. And stage 2 is really when sleep kicks in. So NREM stage 2 usually lasts about 20 minutes, and a slower heart rate, decrease in body temperature are characterized by this stage, and it becomes harder to wake you up. Your brain starts to emit larger waves as well. And so the first two stages of NREM sleep or non-REM sleep together are often referred to as light sleep. And non-REM stage 3 refers to what used to be stage 3 and stage 4, but it has been combined to just stage 3. So in your research, you may see 5 stages of sleep, and that is outdated information, just as a heads up. So in this stage 3, this typically starts 35 to 45 minutes after falling asleep, and this is when your brain waves slow down and become larger. And you're also pretty immune to any sleep disturbances, noises, movements, baby crying, without showing any reaction. So if your spouse is laying there and you hear the baby and you're like, I know he hears the baby, or I know she can hear the baby, maybe not. If he or she is in stage 3 of sleep, it's definitely not registering with them at all. So if they are awakened, there's a high probability that they're going to feel disoriented, out of themselves for a few minutes. You just kind of feel crazy, You look crazy, you feel crazy, and it's just better to be asleep during this stage. Then we have REM stage 4 sleep, rapid eye movement. And this is exactly what it is. Our eyes move rapidly in all directions while our eyelids are closed. This is the deepest stage of sleep. It lasts around 10 minutes. After about 90 minutes within our entire sleep cycle. So bedwetting can occur now. Sleepwalking can also occur. But our powerful, vivid dreams also occur during this stage. Now here's the part that gets me so excited. REM, stage 4 sleep, is also known as paradoxical sleep. Okay, come on in so you can hear this. Paradoxical sleep. It's a paradox. What's a paradox? Something absurd. Something that can't be real. What do you hear me say all the time? Spiritual alchemy, spiritual knowledge, spirituality defies human logic every single time, right? So this stage, REM stage 4, contradicts what we know humanly to be sleep. Does that not say spirituality defies human logic every single time? If we know that stage 4 REM sleep is a paradox to what we know as human logic, then that tells you that we are a spiritual soul first, then we're born into this vessel, a body. During this stage of sleep, our brain gives off heightened activity, brain waves that are the same as if we were awake. Heightened brain activity while we're asleep. Our muscle groups paralyzed, unable to function, and our brain is completely awake. Why? So now, let's talk about how to use lucid dreaming to your advantage. So we know that we experience really good, positive dreams, love, the really good things that we want to manifest even. And we also experience nightmares. There was a study done in a American Psychological Association peer-reviewed journal that spoke about this. And this is very, very important because in order for you to control your dreams, you want to be able to not have to fear anything that happens inside of your dreams. This is something that I teach my children, and I want to share with you the steps that we take and the steps that I had to take and learn on my own. So there was a questionnaire done by about over 500 people, and 386 who have attested to having lucid dreaming experiences. So according to the reports, about half of the dream characters encountered in lucid dreams are friendly, but about a fifth of them are threatening. Threatening dream figures are encountered more by women and more frequent nightmare sufferers, but less by more frequent lucid dreamers, according to this study. When dealing with threatening dream characters, lucid dreamers most often defend themselves by fighting, with flying away and working toward resolution as the next most likely responses. More frequent nightmare sufferers showed more avoidance behavior, whereas more frequent lucid dreamers worked toward resolution of the conflict. The findings, according to this study, lend some support to the idea that encounters with threatening dream characters may represent the interpsychic or psychosocial conflicts of the dreamer. Thus, when encountering a threatening dream figure, lucid dreamers could perhaps be advised not to avoid it, but rather to confront the figures and seek resolution. Okay. So now that we've gone through all of that, let's go through the steps of lucid dreaming. I call it ASAP. The first step is awareness. And this is really being present in the moment of your life. Remember, we're spiritual beings first, but we are incarnated as humans. So this is awareness of how the fourth, density, and fifth dimension look. The color, saturation of color, non-existence of color, movement, how fast you move when you run, what does it feel like? What does it look like to see your child run to you? What does it feel like when you feel frightful or you fear a situation? If someone scares you, what is that moment like to you? This is all about your human experiences and, quite frankly, human logic. Ground yourself during the day and look around touch your body, your fingers. Move your fingers around, blink your eyes, turn your head, and become aware that you are carnated, that you are a spiritual being within a body. Engage all of your senses. They are human. Consciously be aware of dimensions, shapes, structures, how things are put together, how easily they fall apart, or how resistant they are to destruction. How things sound, hear, taste, feel, look, will all be the opposite of and distorted while you are in your lucid dream. The second step is sleep. This is when you go back to making a conscious choice to go to sleep. We talked about this. This is the NREM stage 1 of sleep. So at this point, you want to set your alarm clock to when you're going to awaken in the morning for good, and you're going to start your day. But then you also want to give yourself a couple of snoozes there. I like to set my snooze between 15 minutes to 10 minutes before it's time for me to awaken. Refer back to the length of time for each stage of NREM and REM sleep to help you figure out what is best for you. The third stage is awakening. Whether you are awakened by your snooze button or you find yourself awakened spontaneously, it is intentionally. So let's start with that. When you find yourself awakened by spirit at a particular time, synchronistically, meaning it happens frequently, I invite you to go to NecoleXO.com and review the spiritual meaning to the time that you are waking up. For example, if you find yourself waking up at 4:37 frequently in the morning or at night, whatever your schedule is, go to NecoleXO.com and look at the spiritual meaning for 4, 3, and 7. Then add 4 plus 3 plus 7, and that equals 14. Then reduce it down to the simplest number, which is 1 plus 4 equals 5. Then you want to review the spiritual meaning to the number 5. And that is your spiritual guidance of why Spirit is waking you up synchronistically at 4:37. Now, if you are awakening by your snooze button, you simply are waking up and you're becoming aware that you are now awake. The only thing you want to do at this point is reach over and hit the snooze button. If you have to open your eyes, do so very slightly. Your focus is going back to sleep, because what is on your soul and that is in your spiritual sight will be your dream. It will be halfway in dream state and the fourth density in which we live, your conscious state of human. So, as soon as you are aware in that motion of waking up, you may see instantly visions of your dream. You may not. Your focus is to hit the snooze button and go directly back to sleep with as minimal movement, no interaction from anyone else. And if you can avoid getting up to turn off the snooze button, please do so by placing your alarm clock or your phone close to where you're laying in your bed. Personally, I use my cell phone, and it's in the same position every night, so I can simply reach over. I may open my eyes slightly and find the dismiss or snooze button and roll right back over, and all in the same step, I am seeing the dream that I am still in and that just stepped halfway out of. So again, don't be dismayed if you don't see a vision right away. Your focus is to hit the snooze button and roll right back over to sleep. When you are in that moment of, I'm going to go back to sleep now, you are seeing your dream. At this moment, you can control your dream. That brings us to step 4. Prepare for lucid dreaming. By going directly back to sleep, you have begun to control your lucid dreaming. In step 3, you engaged the lucidness of the dream state and the integration of your conscious reality. So once you are in stage 4, you are consciously still dreaming the desired outcome. This brings us to understanding how to control nightmares. And I'm going to share with you something that happened to me, and I'm going to share with you some situations that happened with our children. Well, thank you for joining today. This has been part 1 of our lesson on lucid dreaming, and part 2 is where I really go into detail of my own personal experiences and how I control my dream state, okay? And also sharing prophetic dreams that I have or visions, and the differences between psychic attack, spiritual warfare, and nightmares, all of which happen in lucid dreaming. So take great care. Remember the steps in lucid dreaming. Awareness, step 1. Sleep, step 2. Awaken, step 3. And prepare, step 4. I look forward to seeing you in lesson number 2. Take great care.